Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video, we are going to learn how to automate static code analysis check from Jenkins pipeline by integrating with SonarQube Cloud. So what is SonarQube Cloud? SonarQube Cloud is a cloud-based offering from Sonar source. So this is completely hosted in the cloud, unlike SonarQube server where it is hosted on your infrastructure, but this is completely set up in the cloud environment. All you have to do is, you have to log into SonarCloud website, and then you have to sign up using your SCM credentials, and then that's it, right? You should be able to integrate with your CICD pipeline. So it is as simple as that. So you are not managing infrastructure or anything like that, since this is completely a cloud-based offering. All right. So in this video, what we are going to do is we are going to create a Jenkins pipeline, and then in the Jenkins pipeline, we will integrate with SonarQube Cloud, which is hosted in the cloud environment, and then we will automate static code analysis check. It's a very simple use case. And then again, if you want to learn more about the difference between SonarQube Cloud and then SonarQube server, so please do watch my previous video in my YouTube channel. Fantastic. So now let's get started, guys. So if you see here, right, it's a very simple architecture. What we are going to do is we are going to use GitHub. So that is where I have configured my Java project, and you can see over here. So this is my GitHub account, and we are going to use this particular Java project. And then we are going to create a Jenkins pipeline. And then from the Jenkins pipeline, we will integrate SonarQube Cloud. So it's a very simple use case. Okay, awesome. So now let's get started on the prerequisites. So if you see here, right, yes, you need to log into SonarCloud and then configure. So there are some steps that we have to perform, and similarly we also need to configure our Jenkins as well. Okay, we also need to go into Jenkins and then install SonarQube plugin and then whatnot. So everything we will do one by one. So now let's log into SonarCloud. So click on this link. So if you see here, this is actually taking me to a Sonar source website, and then you can see here, right? So like I said, SonarQube has two major offerings, SonarQube server and then SonarCloud, but we are interested in SonarCloud. So I'm going to select SonarCloud already here and then click on sign in. So there you go, right? So now depending on our SCM, we'll have to choose what is our SCM tool, and then we have to actually sign up. Okay, so I'm going to select GitHub. So now it is asking for your GitHub credentials. So I have already entered my GitHub credentials. So all I have to do is, authorize. So click on authorize SonarQube Cloud over here. Okay, so now you can see here, we have signed up into SonarQube Cloud. So click on get started with GitHub, and it is asking for, to enter this extension, right? So you can choose. So this is my GitHub credentials. So click on that one. So now you are going to select all repositories, or again, depending on your use case, you can also select repositories as well. So what this will actually do is this is going to install SonarQube Cloud app on GitHub. Okay, so let's say install and authorize. Fantastic. So now you can see here finalizing installation of GitHub app in GitHub. There you go. So now as you can see here, now we have to create this organization. Okay, so and this has already pre-populated my information, and then please remember this is the organization key. Okay, so now it is asking for organization plan. I know this is my personal account, so I don't want to go with the team or enterprise. So I'm going to go with select free options. But let's say you're working for a company, so you would go with either team or enterprise. Okay, so depending on the budget, depending on your team dynamics, you're going to choose one of those two options. But in my case, I'm okay with this. So click on select free, and then scroll down, and then I'm going to select create organization. So now as you can see here, it is in the process of creating organization. So there you go. So now organization has been created, and you can also see that over here as well. So can you all see here? So this is the organization, right? And then this is the organization key. Okay. So now we have to start analyzing a project. So click on analyze a new project. So now I do have several repositories, right? So in my GitHub account, I do have several repositories. So like I said, we are going to choose this particular project. So click on that repository over here, and then click on setup. So what this will do is, this is going to, create this app. right? This is going to create this project in SonarCube Cloud. And then you have to choose what is the new code, right? So in my case, any modification from the previous version, I want to consider that as a new code. So I'm going to go with this option. But let's say, you have different setup, then you can also go with the number of days as well. Okay, but I'm okay with this option. So click on create project. All right, so now you can see here now how you are going to perform your analysis, right? Using any of your CICD tool. So if you see here, this is giving options for GitHub Actions or Circle CI or with other CI tool. So in our case, we are integrating with the Jenkins. So I'm going to go with this option. And then it is asking what is the technology stack. So in our case, this is going to be Maven. Okay. So now you can see here, there are several information over here, right? So first thing first, so it is saying that, okay, you have to create a token. So if you remember, if you want to integrate SonarCube from Jenkins, so you must create a token, right? I'm pretty sure you would have watched, those steps in my previous videos. So you have to create a token in Jenkins. So you have to install SonarCube plugin and then you have to configure this token. I will show you in a minute. And then in your pom.xml file, you have to have this organization information. But you can avoid this. You can also configure from your Jenkins job itself. So you can also configure like this too. So probably we'll go with this option. So I will show you in a minute when we actually integrate from our Jenkins pipeline. Okay. So now I think we are good, right? So now all we have to do is, go into, Jenkins and then start creating, token and whatnot. Okay. So now we are going to go into Jenkins, start installing the plugin and then start configuring SonarCube information over there. Okay. So now let's go into Jenkins. So this is the Jenkins, right? That we are going to integrate with SonarCube Cloud. So what we are going to do is let's go to manage Jenkins, go to available plugins, look for SonarCube. So you can see here, I don't have that plugin installed. Let me install that plugin. So now the plugin got installed. Go to configure system. So there you go. So this is where we are going to add SonarCube Cloud information. So click on add SonarCube. So let's give some name. I'm going to enter SonarCube Cloud and then it is asking for the URL. So the URL is going to be your SonarCube URL, SonarCube Cloud URL, obviously. So you don't have to enter anything after that. So you just have to say sonarcloud.io. So that's good enough. So now you see here, so we have to enter our token. So click on add Jenkins. We are going to choose secret text. And then let's get this token information over here. Let's enter. And then here I'm going to say Sonar token added. Perfect. Click on add. And then you're going to select that from the drop down. And then make sure you also enable this as well so that, this will be available from your Jenkins job. Okay. Fantastic. So that's it, right? So go ahead and then click on apply and save. Okay. So that's it, right? So now we have registered SonarCube Cloud information in our Jenkins. So now all we have to do is, go ahead and then create a Jenkins pipeline, and then we should be able to integrate with SonarCube Cloud. Okay, so I do have all the information over here, but it's okay. But let's get started with the pipeline. So I'm going to show you by creating a Jenkins pipeline. So click on create a job. And then let's call this as my SonarCube pipeline job. Click on pipeline, say okay. So go to pipeline. So now let's start creating, declarative pipeline. Let's say checkout. So go to pipeline syntax. So I'm going to enter my repository URL. Branch name is main. Let's select our credentials. Perfect. So click on generate pipeline script. There you go. So that is the code for checking out from GitHub. So before I go too far, let me just make sure we are able to run our first stage. Awesome. So you can see here. Okay, so you see here, right? We are able to run. So looks like the pipeline we use not being shown. So what we have to do is we have to install one more plugin. Let me quickly install that. Go to manage plugins, go to available plugin, and then search for pipeline stage view. Fantastic. There you go. You see here now. So now we are able to see our pipeline view. Fantastic. Now let's go back to pipeline. The next step would be we have to start performing build, right? So I'm going to say stage. I'm going to say build. So we are going to use Maven. So let's configure Maven. So go to Jenkins, but let's also go ahead and then use this one, Maven installation. So you see here, right? So I have already created this Maven variable. Okay. So go to configure pipeline. And we have to declare our Maven information over here. Okay, so that is how you can, declare Maven 3. Okay, fantastic. So now let's go ahead and then write code over here. So what I'm going to say Maven clean install -f, and then we have to provide the path of our pom.xml file. So if you look at my repository, my pom.xml file is inside my web app folder. So that's the reason why you'll have to specify. But if it is in the root of the repository, you don't have to specify the path. Okay. And then what is the Maven goal? Maven goal is going to be Sonar:*Sonar. Okay. So this is how, Jenkins can integrate with SonarQube through Maven. Okay. I think that's it over there. Sometime what would happen is you also need to specify your Maven, goal information fully, depending on your plugin that you have installed in the Jenkins. Okay, sometime you may have to enter fully qualified plugin name. Okay, all right. And then we also need to remember, we also need to pass this information, right? So if I can take you back to SonarCube Cloud, you can see over here, you all see here, right? So we have to enter all this information, right? In fact, you can also use this as well, but it's okay. So I'm going to use, the project key. So go back to the job, and then you can specify here also. It's not a big deal. There you go. So you see here, right? So we are passing the project key. We also need to pass the organization key as well. So you can copy this. So what is the organization key? This is the organization key. So just copy that. Okay. And then we also need to pass, let's say, I think one more information. Or maybe the project name. I think let's also enter the project name as well. Not a big deal. Fantastic. I think that's it. So now let's save this. So now let's go ahead and then run the job. Okay, I do see some error. Oh, okay. So I do have scripted pipeline syntax. That is not the right syntax. So this is the right syntax. Okay. Fantastic. Okay, perfect. And then if you see here, this is completely a declarative pipeline syntax, but in my website, I do have scripted pipeline. But again, depending on whatever you are actually comfortable, you can do it. And then you can also see here, in this particular stage, we are performing build as well as Sonar scan. Okay, so you can also combine these two as well, or if you want to split, you can also have build and then you can also have a code scan as well. So you can also see here, I do have two stages over here. So it's up to you. How do you want to, break it up? Okay, fantastic. All right, I think we are good over there. Click on apply and save. Let's go ahead and then click on build now. So now you can clearly see here, it is in the process of running the build. Okay, so we do see some issue over here. So let's see here, right? Okay, so we are seeing this issue. It says that connection refused. That's very interesting. Okay, I think I know why. It says that SonarCube server cannot be reached. The reason why it is coming over here is, we have not using that SonarCube variable that we have configured, right? So what we have to do is we have to add SonarCube environment. So do you remember we have created an entry in manage Jenkins configure system, right? So it has to match with that. So if you guys remember, this is what I have configured. We can just double check by going into manage Jenkins configure system. There you go. So SonarCube Cloud. So it has to match exactly with that. Perfect. So that's it, right? So let me click on apply and save. Click on build now. There you go. Wow. So you can see clearly here, it is in the process of communicating or integrating with SonarCloud. You can see here, and it was able to load all the rules and then perform scanning. Wow, we got confirmation analysis successful. So let's go into SonarCube Cloud, click on project. Wow, do you all see here, guys? Look at that, 10:55 a.m. like a few seconds ago, we were able to integrate. Wow. All right, and then you can see the bug report over here. So you can see here, right? So click on the project name and go to main branch and then open issues. There you go. So you can see here, right? What are those bugs? So obviously, right, you can click on these three bugs just to know what is going on. So let's try to add one by one. Let's try to look at one by one. So if you look at this defect, it says that, this tag is missing, and you can also click on why this is an issue. So look at here, right? This is the non-compliant code, and then this is a compliant code. Okay. So this is happening for this particular file, index.jsp. You see here. So if I can take you back to my source code, you see here, this is my source code, right? So if I can edit my source code, you can see very clearly that it is missing the tag. So why don't we do one thing? Why don't we apply the fix suggested by SonarCube Cloud, right? So now let me add this particular line. So I know I'm not showing a good practice to modify the code. So in fact, you should do the code changes locally on your local machine and then, add unit test and then commit. But just to save time, I'm actually doing this way. All right. So that is the fix for the first defect. Now let me click on the second defect. So it is saying that we have to add this language, right? All right, so let's go back to our code. Let's add this. And then let's look at the third issue. It says that title is missing, right? And you can see here, we are actually missing a title. All we have to do is add a title. So we can copy this code also. Go back to the code and then add the title. There you go. Perfect. So I think we were able to fix these three defects. I know it's a very minor. So click on commit changes. I'm going to say fixed 3 defects found by SonarCube. Click on commit changes. So now let's go back to our Jenkins. Let me rerun the job. Click on build now. There you go. So analysis got successful. Let's go back to SonarCube Cloud. Wow. Do you all see here? So we are not able to see those 3 defects, isn't it? And look at here. So last build had 3 issues, but the current build have no issues, isn't it? So yeah, so this is how, guys, this is how you can integrate SonarCube Cloud from Jenkins pipeline in order to automate static code analysis check. I hope this video was really useful. I'm really looking forward to see you all in the next video. Thank you so much.